Today we're looking at Colossians 4, verse 1, and we're using it as a model to see how the writer's choices in words and grammar and the order in which he places the words informs the understanding of his intended audience. So first up, let's read the verse in English, and then we're going to pick it apart in Koine and see what it tells us about Paul's intentions for his audience. Masters, treat your bondservants justly and fairly, knowing that you also have a master in heaven. So let's pick it apart and see what we get. Hoi kurioi to dikaion kai tein isoteta tois doulois parekesthe. So up front, the first two words, hoi kurioi. This is the nominative plural from kurios, and it means the Lord's, the masters, because it has hoi, it has the article in front of it. If it didn't have the article, we could treat it as an indefinite and just say masters, meaning any masters, meaning sort of masters as a concept. But because Paul put the article in front of it, we know that it applies to specific people, and it's plural, so it applies to specific people in the actual situation of having slaves or bondservants. Why does this matter? If it was anarthrous, if it had no article, it could almost be hypothetical, but it's not hypothetical because it's articular. He's saying to those of you in the community who are hearing this letter read, if in fact you are a master over servants, over bondservants or slaves, this message is to you. He's talking about real people in a real set of circumstances, and his advice to them is pointed and, let's say, binding. So let's jump to the last word in the sentence, parekesthe. Parekesthe is a verb in the middle voice, and it means to bring about, to provide, to offer, or to present. And because it's in the middle voice, it's something that you're doing to or for yourself. Why does that matter? Because it's more about the posture of the actor than it is about the recipients of the action. So this verb, the subject of which is who? It's the masters. Masters offer or present, and it's more about their posture, it's more about them as the actors than about the recipients of the action. So masters present. Now we need to find out present what, offer what. Let's move back toward the beginning of the sentence where we have to dikaion, the justice, kai tein isoteta, and the fairness. Again, notice both of them have the article. It's not just justice, it's not just fairness, it's to dikaion, the justice, kai tein isoteta, and the fairness, because he's not just talking about concepts. He's talking about real application. Real masters who have actual servants or slaves, I'm telling you to offer or to present actual justice and fairness. To whom? Tois doulois, to the slaves, again with the article, because this whole thing is not theoretical. It's not hypothetical. In the community to whom Paul is writing, there are people who are masters with power over actual servants, not servants like hired hands, but slaves, not in a chattel slavery sense, but bond servants, people who have either sold themselves into servitude because it was their best way out of poverty, or who owed a debt and as a way to work off that debt have indentured themselves into servanthood. They have a master with power over them. And Paul writes to the masters. Now this is all in the context of the Christian community. So ostensibly, the masters are believers and the slaves are believers. And Paul says, in this context, masters with power over slaves should offer those slaves, should present to those slaves actual justice and fairness. This is important in the community of believers. Why? Because of the last part of the verse. Eidotes hoti kai humes ekete kurion ein urano. Eidotes, while knowing. This is a perfect tense active participle. And the perfect tense is the tense where action happens in the past, but the result of that action continues on into the present. And it comes from oida, and it's literally having known and still knowing. That's the implication of the perfect tense participle. Having known and still knowing, so I've written here, while knowing, so you came to know something and you still know it. What is this something? Hoti, that signals what the known thing is. Kai, also, humes, you, ekete, you have. So while knowing that you also have what? Kurion, a master. Here's an important nugget. Notice there's not an article in front of kurion. He doesn't say you have the master. Even though there is a specific master in question, he's talking about just the reality of you having a master. There's a master over you, masters. Where is that master? En urano, in heaven. Because you too have a master, you probably would like yourselves to be presented or offered both justice and fairness. And therefore, because you know you have a master in heaven, you masters on earth who have power over the slaves should present them, offer them both real justice and real fairness, because you probably want those things for yourselves. All of that deep meaning is insinuated by the grammatical choices, the word order choices, the vocabulary choices that Paul presents in his letter to the Colossians. So there we have the magnificence of grammar, syntax, lexeme, vocabulary, the ways that a writer gives his intended ideas to his audience. Packed full in Colossians 4:1. Hope that you found that interesting. Thank you for watching. If you have power over someone else in your life, I hope you take that message to heart. If you know that you too have a master, someone that has power over you, you might just want to offer real justice and real fairness as a consequence of that knowing. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, share the video with someone that maybe doesn't know it, or maybe somebody who has power over somebody else. Leave me some feedback in the comments, and until next time, Charis Kai Irene Humin, grace and peace to you.